All right, all right. So I literally just got done trading. It's 10:25. I just wanted to show you guys a trade that I took just now, playing the 4-hour PO3. Pretty simple stuff. So it's Friday, of course, right? So typically Fridays are those days where everyone's taking profit. So you typically do see some sort of sell off, right? I'm not sure if it's every single time, but that's what you do often see, right? Now, coming into the market, I already noticed that yesterday, Thursday, our previous day candle closed bearish after running into that area. And I kind of talked about this a bit here. Just that was a chat of mine. But I talked about this in the last trade recap that I had yesterday, that, Thursday's candle had dipped into this zone here, right? We already took ERL. We were going into IRL, and we reacted from that. So Thursday and Fridays, you can kind of expect like a distribution on those days. By that time, the week kind of has figured out what it wants to do. So with that understanding, came into today, I noticed that we were obviously here. And, at the time, price was kind of like all the way up here. It was moving up. So I figured, all right, we're probably going to be making the daily wick or the daily top wick potentially here, right? So with that, I then went to the 4-hour. Okay. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit for you guys, right? So you obviously see in the last little bit, we've been a bit bullish, right? But then we ran into that area that I was talking about. So I'm not saying that, we can totally dump it here. I'm not sure what happens. We can totally just come down, take these lows, and then go up to this 200. But as of right now, being that I'm just trying to play one trade for the day, I'm looking to take a sell, right? So with 4-hour PO3s, you typically, or power threes rather, you typically, want to trade like the 6 a.m. one or the 10 a.m. one. I trade the 10 a.m. one. It's the easiest one for me, and it works more often than not. But I usually like to take at least the range of the 6 a.m. candle, because typically that 10 a.m. candle will dip back into the 6 a.m. candle, create its little wick up here, and then distribute down, right? So you kind of have to have an understanding of how candles open high, low close, or vice versa. Okay, so anyways, that's what I was kind of looking at. I already noticed that our last two, this candle had closed, or not closed. It closed back within the range, wick the top, and then we've been dropping since on the 4-hour. So I figured that would continue. Okay, so then go on the 15-minute. Very simple stuff, right? I always mark out the NY open, which is 9:30. This candle here. I always mark out midnight's open as well, right? These areas, if price is above those areas, I'm considering that to be the premium. If it's below those areas, that's considered the discount area. When you're trying to sell, you want to sell in the premium. You want to sell above these areas. When you want to buy below these areas, okay? Well, obviously, it's not that easy, right? You want to kind of factor in the structure, bias and all the stuff that we talk about. But obviously, with the bias that I found and the stuff that I was looking for, I was definitely looking for a sell. Okay. Right. I came in here seeing all these confluences to be bearish. I'm coming here at 9:30 just to watch what's happening, and we're going up. Okay. So I like to see that, right? Because if I want to sell, I want to see price go into that premium. And when we talk about the PO3, essentially what's happening here, you can see these wicks. You see how price goes down, up, then down, then up, right? There was a sort of accumulation here. So you simply are having accumulation, right? In this area down here. Up here is the manipulation. Wow, I cannot spell. Right? So that the manipulation is this move up. If it let me drag it. All right. And then we then have here the distribution. Okay. Now, mind you, too, this is a 15-minute trend line I had here. The distribution I got in actually broke that. I just stopped here to take these lows because I didn't want to be greedy. But this thing could definitely tank today. It's Friday, so I don't see why it wouldn't. Okay. But, anything can happen. Aside from this, that's what was giving me this confluence, right? I like to play PO3. PO3 is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. All right. So if I'm coming into the market at 9:30, I'm seeing that we're above NY open, midnight price. And then as an extra confluence, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm going in the right direction. So when my 10 a.m. 4-hour candle opens, I even mark off that open, right? To see if price does go back up in there or see what it does. I even mark off the 6 a.m. open because as you can see here, even in the 9:30, we go all the way above the 6 a.m. candle and then we drop. So someone could have got in there if they really wanted to, right? If you're that sniper. I'm not that much of a sniper. But these are things to watch for, right? So if you're seeing all this happen, and then I marked off this wick because a lot of times you'll get, if it's unmitigated, you'll get price to hit the 50% of the wick. It has to be long wicks like this, not like something, like that. Long ones. If it hits 50% and it respects that, then price tends to turn down. This is like a failure swing. Okay, we made, if you can see here in bullish formations, you want to see higher low, higher high, higher low, right? So it looked like it was bullish, but then this lower high, that failure swing right there really helped me gain confidence there. So when we go on the 1 minute, the way I got in here was basically we had, see, I'm going to mark it off with you guys. We had a CISD, change in the state of delivery. Okay, I'm going to take off these little AMAs too. I just use that as confluence sometimes. Definitely don't rely on those though. I never would recommend. All right, so, and then here, with this red line up here, and there was a lot of lines, but stick with me here. This is a liquidity grab. This is a liquidity grab. So price closes back within this range after taking the highs, goes above 6 a.m. candle. That was the first sign. I actually thought about getting here, but I was like, no, I'm going to wait until 10 a.m. 10 a.m. red news actually happened today. But I understand that the red news a lot of times is just a reason to give the market a chance to, or an excuse to give the market to manipulate, basically, right? So you notice how down here, this is already well into 10 a.m. We have just the manipulation going straight into the distribution. Okay, so it's very simple stuff. The same thing that I showed here on the 15-minute, accumulation, distribution, manipulation, all that stuff, that's happening here as well. Okay, so you can see price goes down, goes up, down, right? Starts accumulating a little bit, manipulates, and drops further down. Now, I got out just because, and just to give you a real reason why, this is 2R for one. I always shoot for 2R. But when playing the 4-hour PO3, right, you have to keep in mind that in this case, price didn't come this low yet. So this wick wasn't even there yet. Okay. When price opened up, we're opening right where 6 a.m. closes, right? So we're up here. I'm already up here trying to play the manipulation. So the target could be 6 a.m. candles low. And that's exactly where I went, the 6 a.m. candle low, because I expected to go down. Okay. Someone could aim for this or maybe 50% of this wick or something like that. But I don't know. I just think it's just better to be conservative sometimes. And if we're being honest, like this was almost 200 points again. And I just had 200 points yesterday. So these are phenomenal trades. Just take what you can get. and get out. But for more awesome content, for more insight, if you guys are looking into ways to figure out how to make more money, and I think everyone's trying to look for that this time with simple concepts. I'm going to be dropping more of these. I'm going to also get to the point where I do just free webinars and things of that nature, just to really help and give back to the community. So follow me on socials. You have me on Market Mellow at X, Market Mellow 33 on TikTok as well. And yeah, subscribe to the channel, comment any sort of ideas, anything that you guys think that would be helpful. I'm here just to help and make sure that we can, move forward. But just so you guys know, I did take the positions just to show proof. Yeah, but you guys have a good one. Have a great weekend, and see you later.